Okay, how's it going, guys? We're good. We're here with another episode of Splash and Go. This time, we're going to, or rather, I'm going to discuss the what this means for the Truck Series moving forward. This new change. As you can see here, the Truck Series playoff field just got expanded to 10 drivers for this coming season. The announcement was made yesterday. So what this basically means is the even though the postseason will remain at 7 races, everything else will remain the same. The only difference here is that it will no longer be the round of 8, the round of 6. Instead, it will be the round of 10, and then 2 drivers will be eliminated, and then the round of 8, 4 drivers will be eliminated, and that's how we get the championship for it. That's how we get it. And this actually comes in large part to the even though NASCAR has stated several times that this was not the sole reason that they were doing this, they said already that they were looking at this in the past couple of seasons. They were looking at this, and I kind of agree, with them where they're coming from, and I knew this change was gonna be inevitable, especially with the huge influx of talent that the Truck Series is currently having right now. With so many, I counted the Truck Series roster or of how many full-time drivers there are gonna be, and most of the full-time drivers in the Truck Series are actually pretty competitive. They could realistically make the playoffs, and yeah, of course they had to expand the Truck Series playoff field from 8 drivers to 10 drivers. Otherwise there will be so many disappointments and coming from this season. And no doubt there are still going to be disappointments, because with a field such as competitive as the 2020 Truck Series season, of course not every driver can be a hero. There's gotta be some zeros along the way. But basically, to give you a better idea, I have counted the Truck Series roster, and there are 16 competitive Truck Series teams, or rather 16 Truck Series teams that could realistically make the playoffs. We got all the GMS trucks: Sheldon Creed, Zane Smith, Brett Moffitt, Tyler Ankrum. I can see all 4 of them making the playoffs. Then there's gonna be Ty Majeski. I think it's gonna be a sleeper to a playoff sleeper pick. Same goes for Tanner Gray and Todd Gilliland. I definitely did not see that coming with Front Row Motorsports. So already we got 7 drivers, and we're not even halfway down yet. There's all 4 ThorSport cars: Sauter, Crafton, Finger, and Rhodes. I could see Sauter missing the playoffs, but considering how subpar his 2019 season was, but I'm not gonna get way too ahead of myself. The fact that Sauter is in ThorSport makes him competitive, and he's a seasoned veteran. So the possibility of a bounce back season for him is not out of the question. We already got 11 guys. Friesen, switching to Toyota. Friesen, I expect him to be a championship contender. Austin Hill, Lazard, Christian Eckes. I believe that these 2 will be upgrades over Todd Gilliland and Harrison Burton. Possibly these 2 of them could win races. I expect them to win races, or at the very least do better than Todd Gilliland and Harrison Burton did. And finally, Derek Krause, which, even though I don't think he will make the playoffs, he will still be in the conversation, simply because he is a K&N champion right here. The fact that he's a K&N champion makes Derek Krause it puts him in the playoff conversation. You get what I mean. So yeah, that makes 16 drivers that could realistically make the playoffs. And of those 16, it would be hard to only pick 10 of them. It would be pretty hard for them to only pick 10 of them. And yeah, as I said earlier, this change comes because of several good drivers missing the playoffs in years past because of the small playoff field. For example, you see Ryan Truex missed the playoffs in 2017, Cole Custer missed the playoffs in 2016, And then this year we have okay, this is a 2018 standings. Yeah, 2018, not many drivers missed the playoffs. We're gonna see now 2019. See now 2019, here we go. 2019, as you can see, these were the 8 drivers that made the playoffs in 2019, and you can see here Ben Rhodes, Todd Gilliland, Harrison Burton, and even Sheldon Creed, who had a late season surge. All of these drivers missed the playoffs, but if the playoffs were not put into place, Ben Rhodes would have been 5th in the points, Todd Gilliland would have been 8th, Harrison would have been 9th, Sheldon Creed 7th. So yeah, the playoff field is way too, there's way too much, there's way too little margin of error with an 8 driver playoff field in the Truck Series, and there is still there, don't get me wrong. 10 drivers is a 10 driver playoff field is not too big, especially given that there are gonna be like 16 competitive teams. I believe the Truck Series is the most, I believe the Truck Series will be the most fun series to watch. It was last year, but it's still this year. It's even more fun to watch now. And yeah, that's basically it. Just wanted to get the word out there that I believe this was a change that NASCAR needed to do sooner or later. Even though I wasn't thinking much about that, now that the change has been done, I can see where they're coming from, and it makes sense. I know NASCAR changes a lot of their stuff a lot of the time, and I know fans wouldn't like it because they're gonna say NASCAR changes their stuff most of the time. But honestly, this is a change that NASCAR needed to do. It's gonna take a while to get used to it, of course, like every other thing, we have to adapt. But I believe this is a step in the right direction for the Truck Series, to make the Truck Series look not only more competitive, but also to make sure that the drivers deserve to make the playoffs. It gives them a bit more breathing room for those teams on the bubble as well. It gives them a bit more margin of error to capitalize on other drivers' mistakes and maybe make the playoffs, whereas they would not have made it on an 8 driver if the playoff field consisted of 8 drivers. I believe this is a right decision, as I said. And yeah, that's the end of the video. Like and subscribe if you did enjoy it. Comment down below what you think about this change. I believe it was the right change, but I know a lot of people are gonna say that NASCAR changes things all the time, and this doesn't solve anything. But there are always people out there. But yeah, thanks for watching, and this is G2B Racing, and I'm out. Peace.